college is the best path to success, right? If you've grown up in the last 60 or 70 years, that's what's been drilled into your brain. From the time we learn what learning is, we're told the only way to amount to anything in the world, in the modern world anyway, is to spend the first quarter of our lives learning. First 12 years from people who don't get paid enough to truly care if you actually learn anything. And then another 2 to 10 years, depending on what degree you're going for, learning from people who are really only teaching you so that they can have a funding source for the things that they actually care about. And that's it. You're done. Now go out into the world and get a job. Hopefully you can find something in your field. And by the way, good luck finding anything in that field with AI on the rise and a million other unemployed professionals applying for the same job because college told them it would make them successful. Oh, and don't forget the most important part. All the money you owe us. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys who sits here and says college is completely useless. In fact, for certain professions, it's absolutely necessary. But there's a certain mythos surrounding higher education in the Western world, a belief that if you get a degree, you are automatically going to be a highly successful person who will get whatever they want to in life. And if you don't attain one, well, you're going to be confined to a menial existence of flipping burgers and living with your parents. Now, what are your goals? Do you want a comfortable middle-class life where you work 30 or 40 years and then retire? A college education can certainly provide that. What about a fast-tracked career to 7 or 8 figures where you can retire early and enjoy more than just your golden years? Well, college can get that for you as well, although your options for a career path are drastically reduced. What if your goal is just to be happy? Do you need college for that? What if I told you that you're able to achieve all of those options without a degree? It goes against everything that we were brought up believing and being taught, and I'm of the opinion that that has been a detriment to all of us. Think about the age-old question, what do you want to be when you grow up? It isn't really as age-old as you might think. It's a product of the modern society that we have all the choices and opportunities in the world afforded to us. Because the fact is that just as recent as 100 or 200 years ago, or in some second and third world countries today, that question wouldn't have and doesn't exist at all. You would do what your parents did. You would become a mother and a wife, or if you're a boy, you would be taught the trade of your father. We live in a golden age where men and women are able to do whatever we want, and somehow most of us still get stuck being miserable. A lot of people lose touch with the dreams they had as kids and end up pigeonholed into a job that they hate just because it pays good and they spent 4 years studying it. They lose the drive to become something better and more just because a piece of paper tells them that this one thing is what they should be doing. And that's where people who don't go to college have an edge, in my opinion. They aren't limited by imagined boundaries set by additional years of classroom time. They're more willing to learn things outside of their wheelhouse that could eventually bring exponential growth. And this is not to say that there aren't people who don't go to college just because they're lazy. Of course they exist. And they probably will just end up flipping burgers and living with their parents. But it's important to realize that there are lazy people with degrees too, and oftentimes they end up in the exact same situation. So this video isn't talking about the lazy people on either side of the college degree argument. I'm talking about possibilities and opportunities and who's more likely to take them. Say you want to start a business. Better get a business degree, right? Why not just start a business? There's literally no better way to learn than by doing. What about a journalist? You have to spend years in school learning the ethics of journalism that everyone on TV seems to ignore anyway. Or you could just go pick up a camera and report on something, because social media is the new media. The reality is, most jobs that, not most, but a lot of jobs that seemingly require a college education can be learned and done without one. The modern age of the internet gives us unlimited possibilities, and we are the only ones stopping ourselves from realizing them. And this goes for everybody, not just college dropouts. The point I'm getting at is that Too many people with a degree just stop imagining and stop learning as soon as the ink on that paper is dry. And the second you stop being hungry to learn is the second you condemn yourself to that menial existence that you were trying to avoid in the first place. It might look a little different from the middle-class suburban house, but the result is the same. So, is college a bad thing? No, absolutely not. Is it a waste of money? Well, that depends on your goals. I know college graduates who make just as much money as I do working in their field. Meanwhile, I inserted myself into a job that required a degree simply by having real-world experience and nailing the interview. But please do not mistake this as a dig on people with degrees or some flex that I figured it all out. This is a criticism of the system. And it's just me simply trying to say that most people seem to be perfectly happy living a life that they hate just because they don't know that it can be any different. So this is for the people out there who want more out of life, whether you have a college degree or not. And you know who you are. So tell me what you think in the comments. Do you have a degree? Are you happy with your job, with your life? Do you wish there was something more out there for you? Because there is if you want to reach for it. And you are the only one stopping you from trying. Thanks for hanging out with me today and listening to my probably controversial take. Toss me a like if I'm providing you with anything useful, and hit the subscribe button. It really does mean the world to me. I have a lot more coming. Till next time, take care.